Hey guys, it's Lewis here with the Outpost Arms YouTube channel. Today we've got the highly anticipated review on the Taurus TX22 Steel Challenge Ready pistol. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. As the name Steel Challenge Ready would imply, this pistol has been designed by Taurus around the shooting of Steel Challenge matches. Steel Challenge is a speed competition, shot from a static position at 5 steel targets. As a result of this, a strong emphasis has been placed on speed and precision. In order to fulfill the requirements of Steel Challenge matches, Taurus have teamed up with Tandem Cross, a company widely regarded in the rimfire shooting community for providing high-quality aftermarket components for competition firearms. In particular, on the TX22 SCR, Taurus have made use of the Tandem Cross Pro squared compensator, as well as their tool steel Eagles Talon Extractor. Taurus have also carried over their modular optics mounting system from the regular competition model. This allows you to mount a wide variety of red dot optics should you wish to. Without further ado, let's get this one out to the range and put it through its paces. So we're out here at Rockhampton Pistol Club to do our first impressions on the Taurus TX22 pistol. The ammunition we're going to run today is the CCI standard velocity target ammunition. See how it goes. So yeah, first impressions. I love the grip angle. Really comfortable on the hand, and the texturing on the grip really gives you plenty of traction when you're shooting. Something to note is the recoil impulse. There pretty much is none. To put it simply, I attribute this to the aluminium slide on the gun. There's very little movement of the optic in your sight picture as you're shooting, so yeah, really good for shooting quick. There are 3 main features on the Steel Challenge Ready model of the TX22 that separate it from the regular competition model. First and foremost is the Tandem Cross Pro squared compensator. This one features 4 45-degree angle ports, and during shooting I really like the fact that Taurus went with a 45-degree port unit, as it directed the muzzle gases up and away from the shooter, not back at you and at your optic. Throughout the shooting session, I found that this unit was particularly good at controlling recoil and reducing muzzle flip. I attribute this mainly to the fact that it's working as intended as a compensator, but also because of the extra weight that is added out further from the point of movement there. So yeah, this reduces the amount of muzzle flip as a result. The second of these features is the Tandem Cross Eagles Talon Extractor. This particular extractor is a tool steel unit and is designed for pistols that are shooting high round counts and need maximum reliability. The last of the features is the custom feed ramp. Now, Taurus have gone with a polished feed ramp to aid in feeding and enhance reliability. Please excuse a less than stellar trigger control in this clip. Shooting while lining up the shot through the camera viewfinder was a little challenging. But the main purpose of this angle was to highlight, first of all, the controllability of the firearm, second, the ease of getting this firearm on target, and third, the benefits of having an optic mounted to the barrel of the firearm and not reciprocating with the slide as the pistol shoots. This shot demonstrates the controllability of the pistol. The compensator, the heavy ball barrel, low reciprocating mass, and fixed optic all result in very little disturbance to your sighting picture between each shot. You will notice that during rapid fire shooting, it is very easy to consistently hit the steel plates, which is a direct result of these features of the handgun. For our review of the Taurus, we chose to mount the SIG ROMEO3 XL optic. I found this to be a really fantastic little optic for fast shooting, and it really pairs well with this pistol. You can get this optic in both a 3 MOA and a 6 MOA dot. Our particular model has a 3 MOA dot,
And I found this was particularly good for getting real accurate shots from anywhere between 10 to 25 meters. It also features a 35mm main lens, which, yeah, for shooting fast with a handgun mounted optic, I found this was great for picking up the dot nice and fast. It was very easy as well to get on target. So all in all, really great little red dot. Some creature comforts about it. It's got an easily changeable battery as well. Some red dot optics, you'll find that they have a bottom mounted battery compartment which you have to take the optic off your pistol. Obviously you lose your zero when you do that. So having a side mounted battery compartment like on the SIG is a real great little thing. So the TX22 is somewhat of a departure in the system that it uses in its trigger. Unlike a lot of other 22 semi-automatic pistols on the market, it uses a striker-fired trigger mechanism rather than a more traditional hammer-fired system, for example. During shooting, I found that the trigger on the Taurus was exceptionally nice to use, especially when shooting fast. The trigger, it's not light per se, it's a very clean braking, very crisp trigger, but it's not light enough that you'll let a round off into the dirt accidentally as you're bringing the gun up. Overall, the trigger breaks around about 4.5 pounds, so it's still very acceptable. Sort of very similar to what a 1911 trigger would break at. Overall, I really like the trigger on it. Has a good short tactile reset as well, which, yeah, when you're trying to shoot quickly is a great thing. You always want to be able to come back to your reset reliably, and yeah, it delivers on this. The Taurus is well appointed with safety features as well. It features a trigger safety, a striker block, and also a manual safety as well. During our review of the Taurus, I found the manual safety in particular was very well thought out. In terms of pistols that utilise a manual safety, there's often a risk of accidentally engaging a safety while you're shooting. Now, I found this wasn't really something I could easily do with the Taurus through testing. It's very easy to disengage the safety intentionally, but yeah, when you're shooting, there's no real risk of your thumb riding up and engaging the safety while shooting. So yeah, really well thought out design in terms of ergonomics with the safety. Overall, I found the Taurus to be a very comfortable pistol to shoot. It's got a very good pointability and suits my shooting style in particular. I didn't find myself needing to readjust my grip on the pistol and change it. It was very natural to get on target. Also the texturing on the pistol, it sort of sits between a aggressive texture and a low aggressiveness in terms of overall feel. It doesn't hurt your hands when you're shooting, but it provides a good level of traction even when your hands start to sweat. While the Taurus is geared around delivering maximum speed in a competition scenario, it's also a very accurate pistol as well. This target here was shot at 15 meters and is a real testament to the culmination of the fixed barrel and optic combination.
Now we're just going to do a quick test for reliability over the course of a magazine with the Taurus. With your rimfire pistols, a big thing often is the reliability of them with specific ammo, so this will give us a good idea of how it performs. So that was with standard velocity CCI ammunition. Yeah, no issues. Ran really good.
One of the standout features of this pistol for me is the way that it disassembles. It's actually very similar to the way that a centerfire 9mm handgun, for example, would disassemble. 2 buttons and you've pretty much taken it apart, so very intuitive. So let's get into it. So first step with disassembly of the TX22 is to clear the gun. So we're just going to draw the slide to the rear, make sure we've got no loaded ammunition in the pistol. The chamber is clear. I'll drop the slide forward and remove the magazine. The first step in actually taking it apart is dry firing the gun. You just need to relieve the tension on the striker system. So I just draw the slide to the rear just a little bit and then pull the trigger. Now you've got these 2 little pull tabs on each side. You've got one here, and you've got one on the other side that corresponds to it. These tabs, when you've decocked the gun, if you pull those down, you'll see the slide will move forward slightly. Yep. So that's disengaged the slide, recoil assembly, and the barrel from the frame of the gun. Next step is to remove the guide rod and the recoil spring assembly. Simply push it forward to compress it, and it'll just jump out of a little locating notch on the bottom of the barrel. You can remove that one. Now, because this model has the Tandem Cross compensator on it, you won't be able to remove the barrel from the slide until you take the compensator off. So it's a very simple process to do. These ones are just tensioned, screwed up and tensioned with a rubber O-ring and a washer. So just turn him anti-clockwise, just like that, and take your O-ring and your washer off the front of the gun, and that'll let your barrel and optic just come out the top like that. So in terms of doing basic field maintenance and cleaning on your gun, that's really as far as you need to disassemble it. So very easy to do. Putting back together is just the complete opposite of that. First, drop your barrel back in through the front, and push your barrel and optic right to the rear until it touches the breech face. Next, you need to reinstall your recoil spring and guide rod. So that one just goes in through the front there, and you've got a little flat surface on the bottom of the recoil of the guide rod there. That just sits flush with the barrel. Push it in until it locks. Now that's the basic components of our slide back together. Now, for sake of ease, we'll leave the compensator off until the end. We'll reinstall the slide onto the frame. So with these slides, they've got an interrupted slide rail there. So you've got interruptions at the back and the front. Unlike some guns, these don't slide on right from the front of the frame. You can just drop it onto the frame. Kind of like a Kennick pistol, if you've ever seen one of those before. Just got to get... Once you push your slide on, you'll feel it click in, and that's the barrel locking into the frame. Once you got that on, just cycle your slide just to make sure it's all fit together properly. And then we can refit our compensator. So just the reverse of what we did to start with. You want to put your metal washer on first, as this is what the O-ring compresses against. So put him over the top and put your rubber O-ring on. And opposite as before. This one will screw on clockwise. You just want to get your compensator tensioned up to a point where it's got good resistance on the O-ring, so when you're shooting it doesn't back off. It's quite a genius little system they've used here. It doesn't have any sort of lock ring or anything to hold the compensator on. It's just the tension caused by that O-ring. So yeah, it's a real easy system to remove for cleaning, which I like. And that's full reassembly and disassembly of the TX22. As with any pieces of equipment, it's always good to make sure that you strip it down from time to time. That also goes for your magazines. After a while, they'll eventually get full of carbon fouling and dirt if you're shooting in the dirt. So the Taurus is very easily disassembled in terms of the magazine. Yeah, we'll take it apart and have a look. So as I was saying before, the TX22 magazines are very easy for the user to disassemble in the field. First of all, you just have to depress this little tab here on the bottom of the base plate. So today I'm using just a pen as a disassembly tool, but any sort of non-marring pointed object is good for this. Just depress that little button in there until it reaches the bottom, and you can just slide that follower plate off like that. Do it slowly just to make sure you don't lose your follower and spring because they are under tension. Put your finger over the top and just control them as they come out of the magazine well. Once you've taken that out, you need to take out your follower and its retaining pin. Now if you see here, at the bottom of its travel, that little retaining pin will just drop free of the magazine. So pushing out, that one comes out. Then your follower is free just to drop out the bottom of the magazine. Once you've removed all those components, you can clean the body of the magazine and the internal components. Reassembly of the magazines is just the opposite to what you use to disassemble them. So first of all, grab your magazine body. You'll need to reinsert the follower in through the bottom of the magazine, just like that. You don't want your follower to go too far past that little indent there. Once you've lined that up, you can just drop your little stopper pin in through there and push your follower right up to the top of the magazine. Once you've got that in there, reinsert your spring and spring guide like that, and then your base plate will just go on the front there. So just line up the little track there, push it on the front, and with that button depressed, you just want to push that base plate back on. Once you get it all the way in, you'll hear it click, just like that, and the magazine's fully reassembled. All in all, I had a great time testing and shooting the Taurus TX22 SCR. It's reliable, well priced, and very accurate little pistol, and I had a ton of fun shooting it. I highly recommend that you go out there, get your hands on one and have a go. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more of this sort of content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Have a great day.